So this is the last question, which is from Ryan on Facebook. He's asking, is guitar music dying? Everything I hear on the radio is mainly production based, and I'm worried that there isn't much room for success in pop music as a band. Interesting question.
Yeah, I would say it's evolution. I'm not sure if it's dying, it's evolution. I mean, I own a guitar shop, and there was a big trend where everyone's buying electric guitars, and then of course Ed Sheeran and Taylor Swift and Jack Johnson and all that kind of stuff. Then all of a sudden everyone's buying acoustic guitars and nobody gives a shit about electric guitars. You know, back when Kings of Leon released their album, everyone wanted an electric guitar. So it's always going to have fits and starts. There's always going to have that. I mean, to me, this brings up a whole totally other question, which is music education today. I mean, how on earth guitar music can be dying with the amount of music education that's around? And for me, the reason for that is because music education is not good enough. And that is not picking on any school in particular. That is saying music education across the country isn't good enough. And the reason for that is because back in the day when, you know, I've been involved in music education for 20 years, and I was teaching at a school in Guildford when I was 19 and 20. So, you know, I've been in this game for a long, long time. It was different back then because of supply and demand, because there was not as many people involved in the music industry, in the music education side to it. The numbers were tiny. Now there's like performing arts courses doing degrees, and that's all fine because the supply and demand is different, but everyone's got a degree in music education, like in being a guitarist or a bass player, but they're not being trained for success. They're being trained in education. Like the amount of CVs that comes through to me that's got a degree in music, and I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I literally can care. Like, what's a degree in music? It's what you learned when you were there. So I want to know, well, where did you study and what did you learn and what are you like as a personality? So it's a much bigger question, because how guitar music can be dying with the amount of people that are out there doing it, and people aren't obviously consuming it because it's not fashionable. But if you're looking at the charts, as it were, then yeah, guitar music is not in the charts.
Yeah.
But at the same point, when I was a kid, I liked Rage Against the Machine, Pantera, Metallica, Megadeth, Anthrax, Faith No More. Like, none of them were in the charts. You wouldn't say they were not popular. They still tour the world. They're massive. It's just that they're not on radio, but then they're never going to be on radio. So it all depends. I think it's more important to find your niche, and actually, I think guitar music I don't think it's dying. I just think it's just, we're living in a time now where people can make music for free. Yeah. And so therefore the art of songwriting is different. I mean, I talked about art quite a lot this week, and people give me a bit of a hard time about art, and I'm like, I'm not dissing art, I'm just looking at general consumption. And general consumption for me is what people want. And some people want 60-minute prog rock songs, and some people want metal songs, and some people want... So it's just finding your niche and tapping into it. This is the perfect time to do that, which is brilliant. So is it dying? I don't think so. You know, I know that there's currently right now 1,500 to 2,000 musicians who are on a course in this city alone who are musicians. So not really. I don't think it's dying. I just think we're in a time now where it isn't as prevalent in the charts, and it's not on the radio because what is fashionable now. And it may come back and it may not, and it may die out, but it will still be able to make music using our instruments and sell it through our lifetime.
Yeah,
definitely, because people appreciate talent, and if you make something which is good enough, then people will appreciate it. So if you make a song which is that good, it doesn't matter whether you've made it on a lute or a guitar or a synth. It doesn't make any difference. If you make great music, people will buy into it.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think there's a lot of musicians out there who aren't writing good enough songs with their guitars, is what I would say.
And as you say as well, like, even if things aren't played on the radio, like, music is so accessible all around the radio industry. There's a lot of pop music outside of it.
So if you want to go and get 10 million followers, then it's going to take time. But, you know, for you to get 10,000 followers that allow you to do this and build your audience to 10,000 people who allow you to tour, make music, monetize it in some way, and have a career doing that. To me, that's the question. How you're going to do that, rather than just, I want to get in the charts. Is guitar music the right way of doing it? So if you're going to do that, then that is completely against the art side to it. That's more a case of just go and buy a synth and start writing some songs and getting your stuff out there. So for me, guitar music is less popular than it used to be, and when I was growing up, everyone wanted to play as fast as possibly can, and nowadays it's just a different trend. But you know, evolution in music is just a thing that happens, and we are just going through a trend at the moment. But you going to, you know, see about buying guitars. There's plenty of people buying guitars. It's just they're acoustic guitars. So you know, if you look at the biggest artists in the world right now, Ed Sheeran, plenty of guitar on that. It's just acoustic guitar. If you look at Adele, biggest artist in the world, piano, guitar, plenty on that. So it's out there. It's just a case of writing good enough music using that guitar. I don't think it's just a fashion thing, and at the moment it's not as fashionable. I'm sure it'll come back. I'm sure people will go back to their Metallica riffs, who are now 15, and then all of a sudden there'll be some kind of new wave of rock or metal at some point quite soon. I mean, I remember having this exact conversation when Metallica had basically done the Black Album, then they'd done Load or Dump or whatever it's called, and then all of a sudden everyone was like, oh, it's not the same, and metal's not the same anymore. And then new metal came out, and then everyone who were like the old school didn't like it, but new metal's massive. So there's always going to be rehashes and regurgits.
Yeah, it always recycles itself.
Yes.
That is the last question.
Hooray! Right, I've lots of work to do. Do me a favour, smash the subscribe, hit the like, send me a mug, because this is absolutely brilliant. Thanks to Stuart for sending me the mug. I've still got some t-shirts, so I'm wearing your t-shirts. I would like you to send more t-shirts. The address is below. Anything you need, give me a shout. Otherwise, I'll see you guys tomorrow.